The science fiction film AI Artificial Intelligence is very entertaining. Definitely one of the most well-known movies that director Steven Spielberg had worked on. And even though there are some things that I wish could have been improved upon, I still think this is a great movie when it's all said and done. So I knew about this movie for several years, but I never checked it out for whatever reason. And so I had finally watched it a couple of months ago, and coming back to look at it again, I have to say that the story is impressive. Which takes place in a futuristic society where mecha humanoid robots are a part of everyday life. Only because the world's population has been reduced due to global warming. So when a AI child named David is created, he goes on a journey with another mecha android wanting to become real so he can regain the love of his human mother. Now, what I have found really interesting here is that originally the late Stanley Kubrick was going to direct this one. In fact, he had worked on it for 2 decades. In fact, he had worked with Steven Spielberg for several years, giving him a complete story treatment. And so after Stanley Kubrick's death, Steven Spielberg used that story treatment and written his own scenario and also added some more elements within the story. And because of that, this film does feel a little unbalanced. Not that it's awful or anything. The acting is great. The music is awesome, done by John Williams. And the story is thought-provoking because it does raises some questions about our own society in the future. I have to give credit to Haley Joel Osment because without his performance, this one would have been pretty forgivable. And I know his breakout role was The Sixth Sense, which I haven't seen yet as of this recording, but I heard great things about that movie. In fact, David overall is a complex character. Yeah, he's been programmed to love, but he wasn't born. He never had life experiences. So when he's brought to his family's home, then trouble does arise. Case in point, Martin. Martin, he is jealous of David for some reason, I guess because he don't like having another child in the android sense in the house. So at one point, Martin is seriously trying to sabotage David. And then there is another point in the film where David is unknowingly drowning Martin. Well, that's a straw that breaks the camel's back as well. This movie is a tale of two halves. In the first half, it's about that family life David's trying to become accustomed to. In the second half, it's just him and Gigolo Joe going on an adventure as David wants to become human so that Monica can love him. Well, Gigolo Joe, another interesting character. Jude Law did such a great job. Even though I wish he had more character development. Yeah, we know he goes around and, he's a playboy. But what else has he been doing? Still though, I did like how, this is a spoiler warning, but near the end of the film, how Monica tells David that she loves him. It actually brought tears to my eyes because even though David is not human, he's one of the nicest characters within this one. I like the CGI. I like how futuristic society looked. And it also brings some interesting questions. Is this how society is going to look like 20 years from now? Is human beings going to be interacting with androids, having them in their homes, possibly having relationships with them, and even seeing them in the workforce? To a certain extent, we already see that because some jobs are being taken away by AI. So I like how this film shows that, saying it could be a possible future. Overall, this is such an incredible film. I had such a joyous time going back to rewatch it. Definitely, I can't understand how this film has gotten negative reviews online, but I guess everybody's taste is different. So, it makes sense. One person can love this film while someone else can completely hate it for whatever reason. And while this one isn't perfect, at least there are some very entertaining moments all throughout its runtime. I'm giving this film a AI 10. Yeah, I'll probably say this is one of the best movies from the early 2000s just because it blends in all these themes, it's thought-provoking, and while some parts do get a little bit slow, never once did I feel bored watching this movie. One of my complaints about this though is that Monica doesn't have a strong character development. If she was in the film a little bit more, then maybe I would care more about her relationship with David. Still though, the ending is a tearjerker, and considering that Monica was resurrected only for one day, it actually makes that scene worthwhile just because of how impactful it is. And that's my review of AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie. Alright, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.